Burnham. I'm a nurse. I spent most of my last 4 years fighting medical tyranny alongside Virginia Medical Freedom Alliance and the Frontline Critical Care Alliance, Drs. Corey Merritt and Dr. Curie. So that was my focus. But then things have kind of quieted down for now. I'm hoping they stay that way. Oops. We've got a few months to go before election. I just want to say that I did kick into gear to support Aldo. I was very impressed with what he had to say. I was blown away at his clarification of what the fourth branch of government meant and how it was put in place for us to express our grievances with injustices in our system. I had no idea that it was crystal clear back in, I guess, the 1800s when they established it, but somehow they've hid it over the last several decades from the public. So we don't even know that that was put in place to protect our freedoms, to give us a place to express problems that we had with our justice system. So as Benjamin Franklin said, it's a republic if you can keep it. So that fourth branch operates solely by itself. It's separate from the other three, and it is a way for the people to hold the other three branches accountable. And people need to know that. They need to know that that is a safe place to go. Unfortunately, right now it is not a safe place to go. As we've witnessed the arrest, the horrible arrest of Victor Jackson, and the way that those policemen manhandled these two women was just shocking. I was in the pew next to Victor. He was back in the corner. We were all going to read a presentment, trying to present a presentment that Aldo had designed to expose some corruption. And as soon as Aldo, and as you may have seen on the website, Court of Public Awakening, they falsely grabbed him and threw him out of the courtroom. He tried to present. He didn't get but a few words out before they took him out aggressively from the courtroom. So the second approach is we were going to have a number of us try to read this presentment, and what they did the first time, he had to submit a notice telling him what he was going to do. So they were prepared by having 10 times the number of sheriffs in that room. Apparently Aldo's been in those courtrooms many, many times, and he'd never seen so many sheriffs in there ready to take on a citizen just trying to make a presentment. So it was shocking for me to see that and to witness it. And then when they took Victor, being back in the corner in the pew, those policemen had pretty much jumped over top of everybody to get to him, to stop him from talking. They grabbed him, they grabbed people on the other side of me, and I think the only reason they didn't grab me while I was reading was because I was walking toward the door. And when I did get out the door, finally I saw how he was treating poor Janice and Sarah. I mean, I was just shocked at how aggressive they were with these women. I was like, what in the world are you guys doing? What? You need to stop. I was just shocked at the way they treated these ladies. And then after that, we tried to get Victor, well, we tried to find out where Victor was, first of all. What shocks me is when they take these people in, you have no idea where they are for several hours, so you have to go down to the magistrate and file what's called a habeas corpus, which means produce the body. And then the 8 of us went down there and filed a testimony of what we had just witnessed in that courtroom. Unbelievable. I just couldn't believe what I had witnessed in a courtroom that's supposed to be meant for people to file their own grievances. So anyway, we took a while to find Victor. And I don't know how much of the story we've covered on that, but if you go to Q News Patriot, the Q News Patriot, you will see his testimony of how they treated him in the prison for 5 days. It's just horrifying. He's 5'4", he's 43 years old, never had any kind of, had never gotten in trouble in his life. And all he did was speak a couple words in front of that judge, and the judge cleared the jury immediately, took him, attacked him, took him out the door, beat the heck out of him. And if you go to listen to his testimony on Q News Patriot, you'll hear how they treated him in the elevator, ripping his pants, beating him around. I don't know if he was in a courtroom or I guess he was at the jail when they were beating his head on a concrete floor. He had a concussion. He couldn't get medical attention. He had some nurse looking from outside the window saying, oh, you're okay, you're okay. He had blood coming out of somewhere. He didn't know where. The only place he could think of the blood coming out was his ear. And when we finally, they didn't even call us to tell us where he was. We did at one point go down and talk to him, but we didn't know the whole backstory. We knew that he was sleeping on a floor covered in urine. His head was within, 2 feet of a urinal or a toilet or something. And he was bunking with 2 other guys in a 5-by-7 room. There's 3 of them in this room. Keep in mind, Victor didn't commit any crime. All he did was try to speak to the jury. He didn't have any way to reach us. We tried to set up accounts for him to communicate with us. They took our money, but he was never able to access the equipment that they say they have access to. He said there were 60 some odd or 100 some odd prisoners in that jail. There was only 4 computers by which he could text a message if he wanted, or write a message, but he could never get to the computers. Couldn't get to the phones, couldn't get to anything. Didn't have any phone numbers. They'd take everything away. He finally found me after they released him. All we had to pay a bail bond to get him out. He found me by looking for my address online on a computer. He had to beg somebody to pay for his Uber to get him back to a place where he could get to his vehicle. He got to my house. I wasn't there. He had to find out from my husband where I was so I could get him caught up or, help with the rescue. The guy was traumatized, obviously shaking, just down on his knees, like praying to God, thanking that he found us. I mean, I just could not believe the desperate situation, the desperate condition he was in when he finally found me at a coffee shop. Anyway, we took him back to a house, got him showered, got him fed, and he's been, I think, traumatized. He's been keeping his distance. He's been quiet. We haven't been able to talk to him. I think we finally heard from him momentarily today. He was planning, or we thought he would be here today because he'd been supporting us all along, but they scared the daylights out of this poor man.
Yeah, I think Jeff might have something to say about that, but thank you.